Hello, it's December 30th, which means this is my 1 month on testosterone video. I have got absolutely nothing to report when it comes to changes. To my dismay, I might add, have nothing. My mood is still great and, true to what's been going on. I had kind of a little bit of a dip in my mood just before I took my next shot. But other than that, nothing. So just as a recap of, the last month, the only changes I've had are the fact that my moods have been a lot better. I've been in a really good mood. And the little bit of something that's happening in the land down under. Other than that, nothing. So, I have to admit I'm a little bummed, mostly because I have a friend that's transitioning right now, and he's 2 weeks ahead of me, and his voice is noticeably different and obviously changing, and his face is looking manlier, and so I'm a little bummed, but I have to be realistic also because he's 21 years old, and I'm going to be 30 in a few months, so and it's just a fact of life that if you start later, the later you start in life with the transition, the slower the changes happen and the less noticeable they are. But I'm hopeful that, I know it'll happen. I just, the being patient is the sucky part. So I'm working on that. So anyway, that's all I have for changes for the 1 month period of time. But as promised, I was going to talk a little bit about just the special challenges and struggles that a person like me has when their partner doesn't start off being supportive of them in the transition process. And I don't feel like it's necessary for me to go into all the horrid drama that went down in Tiffany and my life in the last 6 months while we tried to maneuver through this. But I do want to just talk about the added pressures that I have as a result of what went down in the last 6 months. And these pressures aren't anything that Tiffany's putting upon me. These are pressures that I'm putting upon myself or that I just feel because of it. So other than just the pressures of having two hormones now raging in your body, the testosterone and the estrogen, there's also, the pressures from work and the fact that you're trying to transition with that and telling family and blah, blah, blah. But on top of that, I just feel a pretty massive pressure to just make my transition as awesome as possible for Tiffany so she doesn't have to deal with anything more negative than she's already having to deal with. Such as trying to think of me as a man instead of something else, and so on and so forth. So, because of that, I feel like I always have to be in a good mood, and I feel like oh God, please don't get angry at anything because that's going to be the testosterone. And I just feel like I have to, not that I've had bad raging moods, but I feel like if I were to have one, I would have to pretend like it wasn't happening. So that's, it's a lot of pressure because I know that this happening to me and me transitioning is, absolutely not her first choice of things. And so, clearly when you're in love with someone, you want them to have everything that they want. Their first choice is what you want them to have. And so she's not getting her first choice. And so there's a pretty hearty package of guilt that comes along with that. But in any case, this is what needs to happen because I was to a point in my life where it was unbearable to remain the way I was. So here we are, and we're pursuing this, and she's doing a really good job with her process and being supportive of me and doing what she needs to do. But I still have a lot of emotional turmoil in the fact that I had to make the decision to do something for me above her. So that's just something that people like me have to deal with, I guess. So, what? She took away my toy. I was playing with a quarter. Anyway, now that my toy's gone, I don't feel like I can go on. So, anyway, I was done anyway. So that's all I have. Just wanted to talk about those added pressures. I love my wife and I really value our relationship. In a lot of ways, it would be a lot easier to transition if you weren't in a relationship. Because when you are in a relationship, you need to think about your partner, or your spouse, or your wife, or your husband, like they're your own body, they're part of you. That's just what happens. They become part of you and you want to take care of them. So it's a difficult thing to have to make this decision when you're in a serious relationship. So just wanted to share that with everyone. Like I said, it is December 30th, so it's almost the new year. So I wish everyone a really happy new year, and hopefully next time you talk to me I'll have something more to talk about than odd changes in the land down under.